No, I want to read you an SMS that Panyaza sent to an ANC group. Panyaza al-Sufi sent it to the ANC group, and then it found its way to us. Good evening, leadership. I was going through the guest list and business that contributed to the 10th EFF birthday, and I'm shocked that we are taking things lightly. Notwithstanding the right of individuals and businesses to association, to have this formation getting opportunities from our institution and then donating handsomely to other parties without recognizing the party that gave them an opportunity can be described as freedom of choice, but we are being treated as fools. This must stop. We have to take ourselves serious from now on. This is a battle, and the battle lines are now drawn. So Panyaza says the people who donated to the EFF by buying tables or sitting on tables and whatever, they are going to be punished for that. And then Ramaphosa goes and meets the Commissioner of SARS, and this I get from very reliable people who have never misled me. A meeting took place on the 31st of July after the EFF birthday celebration between CR and SARS Commissioner Edward Kisfetter. Cyril has tasked the SARS Commissioner to conduct an investigation on all the guests that attended the EFF gala dinner due to extravagance and flamboyance displayed. The investigation must by SARS is to determine the nature of the business interest of the guests, if their tax affairs are up to date, and if any of the guests that attended are doing business with the state. Kisfetter has appointed General Pistorius to run with this project, which he once concluded before December, in order to act against whoever sponsored or funded the gala dinner and the EFF celebration. Now, this is politicians wanting to use the state to settle political scores. And when we raise some of these issues, you comrades think that we are just hallucinating. The state is going to punish people for having taken a political choice, for having made a political choice. And Panyaza is part of the people who are saying everybody who attended the EFF gala dinner, who gets a tender from our state, must no longer get a tender because they take us for fools. So which criteria do we use that only those who give money to the ANC are the ones who must get tenders? This is a matter we should be reporting to the public protector. But we won't do it because she's extremely compromised and she's an ANC mascot. She's an Alexander member of the ANC, and she has been part of the ANC Alexandra faction for a very long time. So we're not going to write to ANC branch called Public Protector and then just humiliate ourselves in that way. So we're going to ensure that we continue to expose these shenanigans until these people are held accountable, because we can't allow the state to be used as if it's a tool of the ANC. Coalitions, we will prefer coalitions with opposition parties, and that's what we've always emphasized. Helen Zile's approach on this matter is to push the EFF to where the EFF doesn't want to go. But our first preference, which we displayed in 2016, and then when we said we are now ready to participate in 2021, we're excluded, and by that being pushed to the ANC side. So we prefer a grand opposition coming together to create, to replace a kleptocratic government of the ANC. And that's the type of coalition we prefer. Comrades, Snugi Zikalala doesn't like the EFF and doesn't like me and Floyd, because we removed Snugi as an SABC. What was Snugi? Was it CEO or something? chair of the board. When we came back from Polokwane, head of news, yes, you are right, head of news. And then Dali was the CEO. So it didn't take us a month in the Youth League to remove Snuki Zigalala. That one was easy. We removed with ease. And since we removed Snuki Zigalala, Snuki Zigalala has never gotten anything serious until he resurfaced now as a Veterans League, what something. So he has never forgiven us. So you must know every time Snuki Zigalala speaks, he's got that trauma we caused him by removing him as a chair of that, as a head of news. Yes, so we've got that type of a relationship with Snuki Zigalala because he says the EFF's policy is not the same as the ANC, we must go with the DA. What is that? What is the common policy between DA and the ANC, which he can allude to? It is personal between us and Snuki Zigalala. But Snuki Zigalala claimed to be a veteran that was in exile. In exile where? Because my sources tell me that he was in Bulgaria. And then he claims he was in Angola. He was never in Angola. Who was Snuki's commander? Who did Snuki train with as a MK soldier? So even when he was assuming that thing of the chairperson of the news at the SABC, he was an ordinary person who never wanted to associate with the ANC even at that time. So unemployment drove him to go and claim that he's a veteran of the ANC. How did Snuki Zigalala come back into South Africa if he's a soldier? Because commanders of Mkonto Sizwe, many of them, like Butoni and Ngeni and them, entered South Africa the same way they left South Africa. They didn't come back with a plane. Snuki Zigalala came back with a plane. He reminds me of someone who went to an initiation and went back home with a private jet. So there's nothing veteran about Snuki Zigalala. Nothing at all. He's a chance taker who has got no proper political credentials. He was overseas. He was not in exile. He's a chance taker. And we don't regret removing him in less than a month as a head of news. Head of news, that thing that is headed by Mushwesho Munari. It was headed by Snuki Zigalala, who was biased. And then when we came back from Polokwane, the first victim of the Youth League was Snuki Zigalala. That's why his hatred of the EFF, he just sees that Youth League. And that's why you need to understand it. When we take over, the first thing we're going to do is to nationalize the land as the first non-negotiable cardinal pillar. SABS has got the best men and women who can take on the Zama-Zamas. They must just go and take out the Zama-Zamas under those holes. Any Zama-Zama that tries to shoot SABS, they must drop them dead. They must not negotiate with them. Anyone who knows the police are coming down, because police are going to announce that we are coming down, and you know that it is the police that are coming down and you still shoot, they must drop them dead. All of them. Including those who are displaying firearms. Anyone who displays a firearm against the state is a declaration of war. It's not charging my guy. And he's going to switch off. Yet another twin plug. So there is a resource. Police have got powerful resource. There is a Berete. There is a counter-assault team. There is special forces that can take those people out in less than no time. So Masamula wouldn't know, because Masamula doesn't know what he's doing there. He's just earning a salary. If he knew, he will know that the police have the necessary capacity to attend to those people. There is no song, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. That's a chant. We over-explained it in court. If you have a problem with it, go to the records of the courts. Don't be lazy to read, man, and ask me the same thing all again and again and again. And I won in court. The court said there's nothing wrong singing kill the Boer, kill the farmer. When do we respect the judgments of the court? And when do we disrespect the judgments of the court? When they favor Helen Zille, we must respect them. When they don't favor Helen Zille, we must not respect them. There is a court decision that must be respected. Those who have appealed it, they must go and fight it in court. We won, and we shall sing this song in line with the court decision. The court of South Africa, an independent court, has made a declaration on this matter and is closed. This is sponsored outrage by Helen Zille. You know, black people, there are some black, clever blacks who are told by Helen Zille to get angry. Yo, Helen is angry, now we must be angry also. They wait for a Magogo with a wrinkled Botox face. How do Botox and wrinkles go into... That's a face of a devil. A devil. Botox with a wrinkled face. Pretending that she's angry. If Helen Zille was genuinely opposed to this, I don't even want to talk about that illiterate John Steenhuisen. If Helen was opposed to this for real, why didn't Helen join the case? Why didn't the DA join the case when I was taken to Equality Court? Why didn't the Freedom Front join the case if they are genuine? So I'm not going to over-explain myself, and no wrinkled Botox fake face shall make me over-explain myself. I will sing this song as in when I feel like. It's not my song, it's a struggle song. I saw some McG wannabe, one of these podcast people who failed with a very low followers, for so his relatives only that are following him. He says, I must educate Elon Musk. What is that? No, the one of Twitter. Elon Musk. I must educate Elon Musk. Why must I educate Elon Musk? He looks like an illiterate. The only thing that protects him is his white skin. Elon Musk wants to learn about this song. The records are there in court. Let him go and read the judgment. Let him go and listen to my arguments in court. I argued successfully and paralyzed the grandchild of Oppenheimer and said to him, if I were AfriForum, I was going to fire you from this case. When they did an appeal, they fired him. In line with what I said. I said, you are the most stupid lawyer I've ever met. If I was your client, I would have fired you. He was fired. So what a failed a podcast, this unemployed, lack of creative people who go and just take cameras and then do flopped podcasts, imitating McG, faking it. McG is still going to outshine them because of their fraudulent mentality. Copycats. Says I must educate Elon Musk. Refer Elon Musk to YouTube. There is a full clip of the court appearance on that matter, where it was canvassed in a neutral court of law and a judgment was made. This matter is closed. We have no time for nonsense. Racists want to march into our offices. Ne? This is it's not a playground here. It's a revolutionary house. That's why I told John Steenhuisen that you are a small boy. The EFF is not ANC. Let John try those things he has been doing of marching to ANC offices. He must come and try it here. Let one day when he's bored, try that nonsense he has been doing everywhere. Come and try it. We don't care whether even that day you would have rented black people to march with the DA. As long as you are wearing a DA t-shirt to the EFF office that day in a disrespectful manner, you will know what the EFF is. Let him try it. He must bring that one with a wrinkled Botox face with him when they come here. We'll teach them. Here is not a place where we're scared of a white man here. Yeah. It's the only liberated zone in South Africa. Yeah. No white man comes taking chances here. Those ones who came earlier, they must thank their God. They must try it again. They must thank their God. It's not a playful area here. You can argue your politics wherever you do. Don't come here. We never go to anyone's offices. We never interfere with anyone's programs. But we are not going to be undermined. We've got everything we need to protect this office. Everything. And we'll defend it with our lives. No one can come and take chances here. So, they must be warned. Nancy Spani is an ANC fraudulent campaign that seeks to take ANC campaigners and poster distributors and volunteers to pay them to do an ANC work. Now Panyaza is trying to counter what I'm saying. He brings a picture of a person who's wearing an EFF t-shirt. Only one person out of so many thousands. Of course, it's South Africa. You can't go past 10 people and not find an EFF person. But that is not the target, and he knows it. Nancy Spani, it's a political program that seeks to empower ANC volunteers and make them work for the ANC in the next elections. So that is the story. And you can't claim it otherwise. Don't come and ask me. That's the problem as journalists. You come and ask us instead of doing your own research. Those people, their names are there. Just go and desktop research. Samkelo and on Facebook. Just on a Facebook. Just go and Google those people on Facebook. You're going to find them with ANC t-shirts. Just take those names and just give yourself time. Let me check these names on Facebook. You are going to find those are ANC Youth League, chairperson, secretaries, activists, ANC Women's League, chairperson, secretaries, activists, because ANC chairpersons and secretaries are reserved for corrupt, much bigger positions, not those ones. Those ones are reserved for Sanko, Youth League, Women's League, and things like that. It's not a lie. Panyaza was trying to counter the EFF rally by bringing people to Orlando Stadium with a bribe of jobs. He failed. Even with the bribing jobs, he failed. People didn't go because they know that program for what it is. It's a fake program by Panyaza Lusufi. They can scream anyhow they want. That is the only thing they are trying to do to save the ANC, and they will be exposed very soon. Public representatives failures equal passes. It's not true. Wabona again. You don't do a simple research, which was in the statement. Was this thing of public representatives not in the statement? You know, just go read EFF statement. You don't read the EFF statement. Journalists who don't read is a problem. Big problem. Let's take councillors in Gauteng. They have to give us how many buses? 5? Yes. That's Gauteng. And in Johannesburg, they have to give us 10 because they are closer. The MPLs in Gauteng have to give us how many buses? 5? 15? 15 buses because they are each. And then in the whole of South Africa, in other MPLs, give us 5. So, so 15, but the number is not the same. That's what I'm trying to say. So MPs, then each gives 20 buses. I gave 20 buses from Sishiu. Then Floyd has to give 50 buses because it's from Gauteng. So we're balancing the equation. That's how smart we are. Councillors 1 bus. So Gauteng wants 5, Joburg 10, Limpopo councillor 1 bus, 1. Now, you have an MP who comes from Malamulele, who doesn't give you, out of 20 buses, doesn't give you a single bus, 1. He's a member of parliament since 2014, right? And then you have a councillor from Malamulele who gives you 1 bus. The MP doesn't give you 1 bus. And then I must accept that. You are so used to people not being held accountable. It's not going to happen in the EFF. They are going to be held accountable, and majority of them are going to be removed. They will be listened to one by one, starting from next week, what is their story, and then from there, the rest are going to be requested to leave our positions. Those are our positions. You are saying, am I not scared they will go to the ANC? Let them go. Let them go. I don't care. Why must I think I've got 10 people when I've got 5? Let me remain with 5 and plan based on 5, not on 10. I don't have this other 5. Whether I lose it to the ANC or not, I never had it. So let me struggle with the people who brought FNB, who shut down the FNB. Those are my soldiers. Those are my forces. Sizofanda onye. Ba bomabina usulwa. Ba uyaga hore ba gaufile ba bangwe. It's not going to happen. Ufedile. If I were them, I will just resign. If they know what is good for them. How many public representatives do we have, DP? 1,200. Right? And then 400 and something doesn't get a single bus. And then you say, I must count those people that I've got these people. How are they helping the organization? How are they helping the growth of the organization? What value are you bringing? You are told in January to bring a bus. You fail from January to July to bring a bus. I try. If that thing is going to kill EFF, let it kill it then. We are not going to hang around with lazy people. Your stay in the EFF depends on your contribution. We are not on a holiday here. No. Dead woods. We don't want dead woods here. Go and, SG, I was going to ask you, go and check these people who have not brought buses. Go and check how many votes, where they come from, does the EFF receive. Go and check them. We're going to check them. We've got a system here in the EFF where once we put your name in, it takes you straight into your voting districts. It tells us how many votes did the EFF get from where you come from. If we can even expose how many votes they got, where they come from. These people that you are saying are going to the ANC. We will not have lost anything. At least we will know that we are 600 and not 1,000. The public representatives who brought the buses here, they never felt that they are being punished. They were the most excited. Cooking for their people before they left. It was a festivity, but also a moment to bond together, to share memories. I said to them, Kiri, hey, one day but Lord go whenever councillor or useless. You must go, you are the most useless councillor. How about respond out Lord go bona Oscar too much kileka wish FNB we. Kale na major bus. At least one thing, idea in your life. Just do one thing. So, it can't be, comrades. Shame, Floyd. I don't even know what you are asking about. Like, in the past 10 years, there's never been anything that suggests me and Floyd have got fundamental differences. Nothing. We disagree on approach. This one maybe this way, that way. And that we can fight and even think of not speaking to each other with Floyd. I didn't know that Floyd did an interview and said our differences. I was going to call him immediately. Which was those? I don't have a... You know, there are clowns here in the EFF who think they know us. Who think they were nothing without them. Yeah, who behave in some narcissist way, in a very egoistic way. You will never feel that with Floyd. No. So I don't know, Shem. Hey, you will have to slaughter cows for that fight to happen. It will never happen. That's what the enemy wishes for. He will speak for himself, but from where I'm sitting, I told my son, if I die, you must contact Uncle Floyd so that you guys work together in consultation with your mother on the program of the funeral. My son knows that. So I don't have anybody. Remember, I'm alone. When I was standing there on that thing that took me up there at the in the stadium there, I'm like that. I'm like, I was done. I was alone there. Like if you kill me, it's done. There's no any sibling, no parents, no nothing. So I'm like, for it not to be clumsy politically, you're going to have to consult Uncle Floyd. So you and Mom know that, okay, the EFF interests are well taken care of. Because we can't have a situation where there will be an infiltration and then Abu Floyd, they are even told not to speak at my funeral. And now they are very good at hijacking funerals. So why would I entrust someone with such a responsibility if I've got problems with? So there's nothing, man. Like there's nothing even to justify, none whatsoever. And when I was talking to Floyd, and I said I'm brutal, well, you know, I'm a lighter moment. And then when I read about, I'm like, it's not even allowed to joke or anything. A joke becomes a headline, like Floyd has been warned. I'm like, anyway, if it was other clowns, it will get to them. It will never get to Floyd that he's been warned and all of that. Because he knows the language. He knows when things are meant and when things are not meant. So he has been in the space for a very long time. It's the same thing about kill the boer, kill the farmer. I say in the speech there, for a very long time, calling for peace in Africa. In Nigeria, in Burkina Faso, in Burundi, in Eastern DRC, and call for peace, don't kill each other. That speech which called for peace in Africa today is the most violent speech that is reported about all over the world. A man who called for, I called for peace. That is not being quoted. And then I must be worried and have a nightmare that maybe I said something wrong. I didn't say anything wrong. I know I said everything right. The enemy is just deliberately distorting me. And they will never get to me. They've never done. They will never, not now. Because I now know how they operate. Look at Adrian Basson. He just goes on a rampage to a point where he went to the dustbin to clean articles of 2011. This is what we said about Malema in 2011. You can clean them the way you want, Adrian. I defeated you. FNB Stadium was full to capacity. Yo, I could imagine your face, Adrian, pink on the screen. Angry that a man you hated filled up FNB Stadium beyond capacity. You tried to destroy me with those 2011 articles. You failed. Why would you destroy me now? Why would I be destroyed by Adrian Basson now? He left Cape Town. Adrian Basson works in Cape Town. This weekend he was here in the office harassing the staff of the News 24 and saying to them, you can't say everything was successful. Find something. Find something. You are going to look for something against them. Anything that we can use against them. Then they told us, Vuyani tweeted about it. He went back to the staff and said to the staff, who told them? Who told them that I'm here? Who told them? Everything Adrian is doing in that office, we get it toe for toe. He thinks those staff members like him. They are tired of his racism. They too are tired of his racism. They've been arguing with him. Adrian, it was successful. It's enough. Let's just acknowledge it. Why do you want us to write things that didn't happen? And the fighters have been calling for us to call for the banning of News 24 in EFF activities. I don't think we must ban them, shame. We must harass them through success. They must come here and see the cakes. After here, there is music, News 24 music. And then there are drinks after. For all of you, drinks, including News 24, you can drink. You must come here. We are going to invite you here to remind you when you enter that beautiful building that we failed. This is a reminder. We're inviting you we invite you to remind you of how much you failed and how much you are going to fail. Racism will never triumph, not in South Africa. And Adrian Basson is a racist small boy who will never succeed against us. We're not going to ban any News 24. Abatlemo barekire modimu abela diyo manabarna re lebeletse manaba News 24. Re ya la fala modimu abela diyo. Thank you very much. Over to you, DP.
No, thank you, President. You know, you're making a reference to the speech that was done by Fikile Mbalula. So he said two things there, and you see he's trying to be a wedge driver. First, he claimed that he is the one who, with Tony Yenge, started with the struggle for economic freedom in our lifetime. I mean, with due respect, Fikile Mbalula doesn't carry any sophistication or depth to conceptualize anything. That is why even the youth leagues which we have left, they always make reference to the generational mission that we left in the Congress movement. He led the ANC youth league for far much longer period than we did. But there's not a single reference to what Fikile Mbalula stands for or ever stood for. So generations far later, like young people who were possibly 10 or even below the age of 10 when we left the ANC League, are now making a reference to a rich generational mission which we left there. But also to try to divide an organization, you must be sophisticated. There is no one who is that sophisticated from the ANC who can confuse the EFF. We are a solid organization. I resigned from the ANC purposefully and with clear reason. Why would I want to be associated with the ANC? And I started working with the president, and I knew he's a revolutionary, he's consistent. Actually, the things that people could possibly say now about trying to cause divisions, like there's no basis now. Like, there could have been basis when we started the EFF. Remember when we started the EFF, they were saying he's not educated, he's facing corruption charges, all sorts of things. But I said to him that let's go and start this organization. We'll go to the people of South Africa to tell them the truth that you understand their plight, their difficulties. You represent a generational mission. And all these things, including these allegations of corruption, all of these things will disappear. Let's fight on. There were far much more solid reasons to could have not associated with the president at the formative stages of the EFF than there is now. Like now, the president has gone to school. He has achieved a lot. He has led a successful organization. So what kind of madness will that be where we'll think that there will be differences? There will never be differences in the EFF. Like there will never be any differences or divisions that will split the organization in terms of what we seek to achieve. Because this agenda that we're in pursuit of is not a self-seeking agenda. It's not about us being presidents or ministers. This organization is a weapon in the hands of a generation and of generations to come. Why would you want to destroy an organization for selfish purposes? Because you want to occupy a position for what? Because like there is nothing which in the EFF we cannot say, or our voices always find expression, all of us, in terms of what we stand for. What is it which I'm going to do if, let's say, I want to be a president, which we cannot do now? Because like we have got all equal platforms to contribute in terms of what we seek to achieve. So anyone who had an illusion that there will ever be division in the EFF, they will never be. They are daydreaming. There will never ever be any divisions that will destroy the organization. And wedge drivers have to carry some level of sophistication to divide an organization. There is no one outside of the EFF who is sophisticated enough to divide the EFF. We can divide them ourselves from here. We can tell them what is their agenda and make them fight amongst themselves, but they will never succeed with us because we are far much more stronger than them. We are ideologically and intellectually far much superior than all those clowns in the ANC. And we know that there's no levels of trying to take us different directions that will succeed in terms of what is required. We are a solid organization. We're looking forward to the next decade of the movement, which when we do the 20th anniversary, that will be a solid program in 2033. And we will still be a solid organization that by that time we'll be celebrating our years in government as well. Thank you very much. I think I've covered the key issues.
No, I forgot to speak to the tweet. Even the tweet you're talking about, Floyd knows what I was talking about. So the tweet can't be speaking about Floyd because he knows the details of what was happening. I said, instead of Gerard Pretorius in SARS, I said general, not general. Gerard Pretorius is the one who's given a task to go and investigate everyone who appeared on the list of EFF Galadin. Thank you.